What I wanted to talk to you about is the ASEAN region, and particularly the automotive industry in the region, and the digital transformation that we see happening very, very rapidly, and the role that iCar is trying to play in that itself. Quick background about iCar. We are a publicly listed company, listed in 2012 on the Australian Securities Exchange. And that was to raise the funds to make our first acquisitions into the region, which was into Malaysia and Indonesia. Since then, we've built the largest automotive classified portals online. And to complement that, content businesses that now have 8 million people coming to them every month. And we see that combination of a great classified marketplace and a content business to be key to how we think around the vision of iCar Asia, which is really solving problems for people as they move through different states of their automotive journey. And we want to provide them with the largest and most trusted portals that they can come to connect to buyers and sellers of services in order to solve those problems as they move through buying, owning, and selling a car. And we started with the three largest markets in the ASEAN region, which is Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. That means we're trying to service a population of close to 360 million people out of the 600 million people that are in the region. And they have great online penetration already that's rapidly increasing. You've seen some great statistics this morning about smartphone penetration. And what's very interesting is the changing behavior, just like Anthony said about Grab. They really recognize that also there's a change in the way that people want to communicate within this region. They don't want to talk to each other. They want to use chat platforms. And for those people who are online, the majority of them are already using chat platforms. So between 64 and 80%, depending on the country, are actively using the leading chat platforms within the region itself. So this really shows the take-up of some of the great services that you now find online. And for us, it also gives us insight into how we should take our product and services in order to serve people as they try and connect with each other. Very important for us also was how we see an emerging middle class that can now look to buy cars. GDP has really got to those stages where you expect to see an acceleration in car ownership. And there's a big gap in the markets that we work in versus a mature market about the volume of cars you could expect people to own per 1,000 population. Almost 6 times as many cars in Australia are owned per 1,000 population compared to the 3 countries that we operate in. That said, these are already very large industries. So collectively across our 3 countries, over 2 million new cars are sold every year, and over 3 million used cars are transacted. So very, very large businesses and very important parts of the economy. And to, I guess, complement that, there's a huge amount of advertising dollars that are being spent online. So $2 billion in our 3 countries is actually being spent on new car advertising alone, but only a very small proportion of that is still being spent online. So there still is that transition to happen away from things like press towards online, and we expect that to increase by over 20% every year for the next 5 years, taking it to almost a $1 billion Australian online advertising market in 5 years' time. So our aim at iCar Asia has really been to build ourselves into the market-leading platforms that are the most trusted within the region. And we've been able to achieve that in all of our countries. And collectively, we have over 2.5 times as many people coming to our sites every month to consume our content, to send leads to dealers, and that's to over 5 times as many listings that we see on our nearest vertical competitor in the market. So we've set some very clear strategic goals for the group around how we want to improve our business, continue to drive towards things like transaction, and really cement our position as the market leader within the ASEAN region. And that's been around 3 different areas. First of all, around making sure we're building a truly world-class user experience for both our buyers and sellers, whether it's new cars, used cars, to really win the 3 major markets within the region itself, and then look to expand our proposition into new areas, so into things like services within our current countries, or even to look at the secondary countries within the region itself. And just to give you some insight into the things that we're investing in, particularly to improve the user experience and to improve the way that we can service people in those different states of the automotive journey. We've been very focused in the last 12 months around building our technology capabilities in order to build great solutions for used car dealers and new car dealers. So just to give you a couple of insights into those areas. The first major pillar that we've been investing in has really been Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch is definitely the global standard for the way search should operate on an e-commerce site and and in a marketplace. And we're very happy to have rolled this out to all of our countries now, not only because it improves the search experience for people, but it also allows us to capture great data about users and about the clusters of different types of users who are searching for cars. The second major area for us is really understanding that consumers have changed the way they want to communicate. And just like Grab, we've implemented a messaging platform across all of our countries. If you think talking to a Grab driver is bad, well, people want even less to talk to a car dealer, so texting is much better for that. Then for us, we want to build the capabilities to understand the data that we're collecting through behavior and through monitoring conversations. So we've taken the steps to really invest in an AI infrastructure, particularly using some open source platforms in order to be able to understand things that are happening across our marketplace. So we're using Google's TensorFlow to really crunch our data and drive our machine learning initiatives, and things like SyntaxNet to really understand the thousands of conversations that are happening every day on our messaging platform. And then to be able to take this to our users and add value to them, we've now developed and launched just a couple of weeks ago our very own chatbot. This is our newest employee. They're there to help people move through those different flows about how to search for a car, find a car, connect to a dealer, and we'll show you some of the use cases that we're focused on first for that. Importantly for us also, we've built these all on a single technology platform for us. So we were built out of acquisitions, and we're now taking the steps to migrate all of our countries onto a single platform. And what that really means is that we are now able to speed up our level of development and invest in very large things like AI and messaging platforms, because they can be relevant to all the markets that we operate in. So to show you some of the things that we're doing to take all of these technology investments into things that our customers really value, just wanted to show you two ways that we're getting into the used car space in a greater way and into the new car market as well. So on the used car side, our ambition is to really be the provider of tools that any used car dealer within the region will use to operate their business. And the first steps towards that has been the building of a mobile phone application for us that allows a dealer to really manage their business through their mobile phone. This allows them to, first of all, manage the way that they work with us, so their account with us, how they create advertisements, how they spend their money, importantly, as well, and also then how they manage their conversations with their customers. How do they handle leads from our platforms? Because at the heart of this is really the messaging platform itself, which allows them to, at any time of day, interact through their mobile phone with those customers, add value into a conversation by doing things like sharing more photos about a car, sharing the location of their dealership, even booking a test drive. And we see this as the first steps to then be able to provide a set of agnostic tools that a car dealer could use to run their business using any advertising platform. The other big area that we're very much focused on is new car. We've been working in the new car space for a while, but we really recognize it's a big opportunity for us to extend our business. So we've heavily invested now in the digital platform for that. And just 2 weeks ago, we launched it here in Malaysia. So this is a bit of a look at the way we're taking all of those technology pillars to really improve the user experience about how someone finds the exact right new car for them. So we use Elasticsearch in order to facilitate things like facet-based search to really improve the finding experience. We've partnered with OEMs to ensure we have the very high quality photos and car details about every single car that's available within the region. And then we're using the other communication platforms to really convert somebody browsing into an actual test drive and sale. So I just want to show you a quick video of some of that in action. So just a quick glimpse of what we released a couple of weeks ago. And I guess at the end of that video, you saw the chatbot, which we really believe is going to be a way of improving every touch point that a user has with the experience of actually finding the right car for them, doing things like being able to extend them into other makes and models that they hadn't thought of, looking at other dealerships that they hadn't considered based on the reviews that we're collecting about dealerships, and cross-sell them into other products like insurance or into different types of car loans that they might want to consider. So a couple of things that we've also been getting feedback from our dealers about the ways that they would like to see us use that chatbot to improve their business. And just a couple of quick examples around that. One of the key things that a dealer would like is to ensure that every lead that we send to them is very high quality, a serious buyer. If they're going to invest in spending time talking to that person, they want to know that they can have a high likelihood of selling a car to them. And we do get some feedback occasionally from our dealers that some of the interactions that our buyers start with them are perceived to be very low quality. A buyer might ask a simple question like, is this car still available? And a dealer might dismiss that because he's handling a customer who's on the phone to them, or it has shown much keener interest in a car. So what we'll be able to do with our chatbot is step in as a virtual sales agent for that dealer, take over the conversation, and build value into the interaction. And that can be things like asking additional questions to the person who has launched that chat. So do they have a car that they want to trade in? Are they interested in finance on that car? All the things that a dealer would actually like to know in order to say that they are a highly qualified lead. And the chatbot can do that not just through standardized questions around the types of things that they can see, but really understanding the conversation as it's actually happening, not just a linear set of questions that they're using to respond. What we can then do is package that information with the behavioral data that we know about that user. So we might know that that user has already sent 2 leads for the same type of class of car to other car dealers in the same region. And packaging all that together, we'll be able to show that car dealer that this is a highly qualified lead and a highly valuable interaction with our marketplace, and one that they should be very much willing to pay for. We also believe that we can use this chatbot in order to help car dealers run their businesses better. By monitoring conversations, gathering that data, and being a virtual coach to sales agents, we can step in and play the role of a sales manager for car dealers who are very time poor about managing their sales staff. So just a couple of examples that we're thinking about of how to extend the use of these technology investments in order to show more value in the marketplaces that we have to those car dealers. And in the new car space and in this region, we also recognize that we need to show the value not only in the digital world, but how that can be matched to the physical world. And when you go around this region, the car shows are still a very important way for people to build their brand and actually sell cars to people physically in person. So recognize that we wanted to combine the digital and physical world for car brands. So 2 weeks ago, we launched our first car show here in Malaysia for CarList. It was a car show built around the concept of actually test driving and buying a car on the spot. And we used our digital channels in order to drive all of the traffic into this and book test drives before it had even started. So again, we'll show you just a quick video about that because, cars are cool. So we were quite overwhelmed with the success of this event. We expected about 8,000 people to come and 20,000 people turned up, which is great for us and great for the people who are working with us. But importantly, it was our digital channels and our website itself that drove the majority of those 20,000 people there. And we're really using this then as a proof point of how we take that back to the automotive industry, another proof point around how they can see the value in digital. I've been with the business now for over a year, and it's a really fascinating region to be working in. And I certainly feel only the pace of change, particularly around digital adoption and in the automotive industry, is only speeding up. So thank you very much.